Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are having part 4 of the Europa Barbarorum campaign as the Romans in Medieval 2 Total War. And our situation is decent enough as we are besieging Mediolanon here in the north and Syracuse in the south. There are a bit too many enemy armies nearby, but fortunately these Syracuse and rebel armies are rather depleted there. So, I think without further ado, we can finish this turn and continue the campaign. And I think one main finding from the last episode is the importance of generals in the battles here. So clearly an inferior army can rout much larger opponent if it can kill the opponent's general. So basically we should have some kind of a hunting party in every army to hunt down the enemy generals so that we can secure those victories as efficiently as possible. Okay, and finally this city should be pretty much under control. And let's check if we have some rebels nearby. Fortunately not. And we can raise taxes a bit here. And I think the investments must be considered rather thoroughly because almost all of the buildings have an upkeep. So that city will hold for 2 more turns. Let's hope they get no reinforcements. And here in the south, Syracuse will hold for 5 more turns. And perhaps some extra cavalry wouldn't be bad since the rebels there have consolidated their forces and likely recruited some mercenaries as well. Okay, 1 more turn. And let's hope that army there won't be intervening with our plans. So all of the mercenaries have been purchased from here. That might mean some troubles for us. Perhaps we could make that field of martial games. And perhaps we could also raise taxes a bit. At least in Arretium. Okay, so let's see if this army will move to help out that city. Of course, we could send some smaller armies to hinder its advancement. Let's see if this could work out. Okay, so no reinforcements for the enemies. They have crude weaponed spearmen, some rather poor skirmishers. I guess these are higher quality troops here. Okay, some of those guys think armories and clothes also are overrated. And let's try to get our troops into position rather quickly. Okay, perhaps these guys can reinforce that flank there, while these guys reinforce the flank there. General to keep the line there. Let's have these guys as reserve. Oh, those are spearmen. Well, they can act as a reserve as well. Okay, so we are ready to face the enemy. And of course, as the enemy army is divided, perhaps it would be best to just charge at the enemies. Oh, we have some enemy forces trying to flank us. And there are some enemy spearmen there. And some of the enemies are already breaking. That's good news. And let's see if we can break that unit straight away. Well, apparently not straight away, but at least the cavalry charge did inflict quite a bit of damage there. And still not breaking. By the way, do we have any knowledge about the enemy general there? Perhaps this unit of Principes could challenge the general unit there. Oh, those guys will need reinforcements rather soon. And still these guys are not breaking. Quite impressive. Perhaps now. And our skirmishers are perhaps somewhere where they shouldn't be. Okay, so now some of the enemies that have not even been hit on the back are starting to rout. I think these guys could try to hit that general unit there. Okay, so clearly something is happening on the front, as it seems to be collapsing on the enemy side. And the casualties are starting to mount on the enemies. Hello Martin, thanks for the question. Yeah, I think tomorrow morning the next Empire at War video will be released, and I have planned to make that Awakening of the Rebellion campaign at some point as well. Perhaps it could be a stream after this Europa Barbarorum campaign is finished. Thanks for the question, and welcome to the stream. Let's see if we could bring some of the cavalry inside the city gates and do some damage to the enemies. I guess that won't be happening as they close the gates. So have you played a lot of Empire at War? And what's your favorite mod there? Is it that Awakening of the Rebellion? And it seems we are inside. Okay. What's your favorite faction there? Okay, actually I haven't heard about that Mandalorian one. Into what part of the Star Wars timeline that's based? Okay. I have played through the both KOTOR games, but I haven't played the mods in the Empire at War. It would be really nice if they made another Star Wars strategy game that contains space battles. I think we are clearly lacking those, but of course the mods for Empire at War are just wonderful. Okay. So let's bring in the rest of the army. Okay. Thanks for the information. I personally have always liked Empire the most. And perhaps after that the Rebellion or New Republic. But of course the Black Sun can be fun to play too. And apparently we need to wipe out the whole enemy army here to win the battle. Okay, so the pirates for some challenge. And in order to prevent issues with public order, I think we want to decrease the population a bit there. And I think Patava will be our next target in the north. And fortunately, they didn't decide to attack there. And here that city will last for 3 more turns. I guess we will save for something that can produce a bit more money for us. And still more Carthaginian troops on Sicily. It may be that we need to build a strong fleet so that we can actually reach Carthage. And are there actually 2 cities next to each other there? Yes, they are. That makes things somewhat more difficult. Still. So 2 more turns. And let's not forget our diplomat, actually in the area of modern France. And we also need to check out if there are some rebel armies in our areas. Okay, so those guys move to engage the Greeks there. That's fine by me. And it seems Mediolanum will be besieged. Let's hope that they will actually attack us here. But we can give them only 2 turns of time. After that, we need to move out from the city. Regium can be upgraded. I guess that's wisdom, and that's especially providing us some new income. And in 1 turn, that city there should fall to us. By the way, the troops here are replenishing quite slowly. Perhaps it has something to do. I don't actually know with what it has something to do, but nevertheless, the replenishment rate is rather slow. Oh, and the diplomat. And we are going to have some Greek allies here, which is really nice, because we could try to get them to do the dirty work for us. So, let's position our troops here. And it seems most of our troops are actually hoplites. Hello Sapsute, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I agree. This most definitely looks like Rome Total War, even though it's done with Medieval 2 engine. So, it seems the enemy army is moving against some of the reinforcing armies. Perhaps we could hit them in the back. And it seems they have left the gates open, so what is their city center? I'm not sure. It would be nice to capture it, but I guess there is none. there. And this is rather nice way to inflict casualties on the enemy army here. Let's try to send one unit to the city center and let's see what happens. Okay, so there is a city center and we have captured it. The game seems to be lagging a bit. I'm just wondering if it's because quite a large number of units on the field and it's raining, or is it because the game engine is rather old? Critical peltast tai basically Greek peltasts. And it seems the enemy general is about to join the fray here. Okay, so those guys are fleeing. Hello Marco, welcome to the stream. The siege of Syracuse is about to be resolved here. It seems some of the enemy units have managed to escape the city center. Yeah, I agreed on that. Perhaps he's drawing his circles somewhere. Yeah, I guess that would be wise. We could perhaps have quite a few advances in engineering if we don't kill him. Seems most of the enemy army is breaking. So perhaps one cavalry charge to the back of these troops here will break them as well. I don't actually remember that anti-Chaitira mechanism. Could you elaborate it about that? Or perhaps I just don't know its name in English. Okay, so now the enemy general is dead. And basically the army has been wiped out. There are some units left in the city center, but I think they should fall soon, and we have a victory here. Hello Bakkeles, Katerines. Welcome to the stream, and I think we will enslave the populace there as well. And Sicily is ours, except we have quite a few enemy armies there still. So let's see what kind of buildings we have available. So that should increase trade a bit, but not too much. Yeah, for now it's under control because we enslaved the populace, but I think it might be causing problems quite soon. And of course we have rather influential faction leader there. So that's another thing going for Syracuse for now. And these guys have one more turn to attack us, then next turn we need to strike at them. Can actually this arm... oh, it cannot get to the Barbarorum in time to reinforce it. I'm just wondering if we need to move out to help Mediolanum so that we can maintain public order in Barbarorum as well. And now finally I'm remembering the diplomat here. Let's see if we could make contact with some Germanic tribes and get perhaps a trade agreement. I guess we could make some industry there. Okay. So. Okay. So, client state. Do you think that the public order will lower so much that that's the only option? Because I would like to keep the Italian mainland as kind of a one unified state or directly under Roman rule. Okay, so these guys are attacking good, and they don't have those elephants anymore. So our life should be somewhat easier here. Okay. And I think we want to organize our defenses on the city square here. We should be able to get a nice concave here. Provided we can put our troops in place. And what troops we still have in here? This spearman unit, Let's keep it as a reserve. Okay. So we are back online. The game crashed and actually rebooted the whole computer, and back to the square one of today. A bit unfortunate, I have to remember to save a bit more often. I guess even the usage of 4 GB of RAM doesn't prevent all of the crashes. Okay, but let's get our diplomat moving a bit sooner than the last time. And let's raise taxes a bit, where we actually can do it. And here we can make some roads. 2 turns until that settlement will surrender. And we have a turn. So I guess those garrisons lower the local production. That's interesting. And now we don't have the enemy army nearby. So let's hope Mediolanum really will fall to us. And let's make this, it should improve trade quite nicely. Okay, so we have practiced this battle already, so it should go rather well. Then we have some cavalry here. They can stay in the back. And perhaps these guys can still come to this side, while the rest of the army will go to the other side of the fence. Yes, I have read. Thanks for the question, Buggiles. And I think the mix should be working. We'll go to the other side of the fence. At least I think my voice should be heard. Or at least I'm able to hear it from my kind of monitoring device. Hello Necromancer, welcome to the stream. With you in here, I think we are not going to run out of armies anytime soon. Oh, and then there was that flanking force the enemy brought last time also. So I think we will charge one when these troops here are in position. And perhaps the cavalry could help with the dealing with the enemy flanking force there. So it seems we have one group of skirmishers that have nothing to do. Perhaps they can act as a reserve. And let's see if the cavalry could wreak some havoc here. Okay, so they are not in the fight. The fight seems to be going rather well for us. Perhaps these guys there would be a bit more suspectable for cavalry charge. And actually, I think our skirmishers can engage these spearmen and then we can hit them in the back with the cavalry. Oh, thanks for the offer, Necromancer. That's really kind of you. Actually, I did create a Discord profile for myself some days ago, but I haven't gotten as far as kind of activating there just yet, but sounds good and I really need to activate there. So I think you can find me there with QualityOldGames. I don't remember the numbers associated with it by heart, but I will link that or post that to video descriptions for videos that will be released in near future. Okay. It seems we are beginning to win the battle in this front here. So we should be able to put on some more pressure on the main battle there. Interesting that our heavy infantry there fled the battle. Okay, and those guys are broken, so we can bring some fresh troops here. And the enemy general is dead. So basically all of the enemies are fleeing, or rather most of them. So if we can wipe them out here, it will be quite easy to handle the rest in the city square. And I don't think that our cavalry should engage the enemies there. Okay, and we are ready to move inside the city. And once again, I did bring the cavalry here. And after this battle, I most certainly need to save, in case the game crashes again. And finally, the city is ours. There. And let's enslave the populace to make sure that they are not going to rebel anytime soon. At least hopefully. And I think they will be made a Roman province eventually. And here this would be actually really nice building. So actually I'm thinking that this should cause some expenses, but based on these settlement details, the expenses seem to be rather minor compared to the benefits. Perhaps there is some logic here that I just don't get. Okay. Oh, and saving the game. I guess this guy's loyalty is a bit too low for us to accept. And let's see. So perhaps here... Well, here as well the building will be quite good, so let's just make it. And 2 more turns until Syrakusai will be taken. And once again I forgot that diplomat there. Oh, and this time the Greeks are bringing quite a lot of troops here. I guess we can auto-resolve. Yeah, so much for that auto-resolving. Perhaps we could send some of the cavalry to help, but otherwise I don't think we want to get too much involved in the battle. Yeah, indeed, misclicks are sometimes, well, how to put it, funny. And it seems the battle is joined there. And I think that should be the whole enemy army routing. I guess that enemy army was wiped out. Okay, that was nice that the rebel army got taken out there. And of course, if the Syracusaans decide to attack out of the city, we should have quite a decent amount of allied reinforcements available. Okay, so that's good to know. By the way, how good the colonies are. They are quite costly, but I'm not fully convinced how good they will be eventually. Perhaps they should be built. And let's save. And let's not forget the diplomat here. Okay. So I guess I should be building colonies then. Nice to sink Carthaginian fleets sometimes as well. Okay. So, colonies it will be then. And this time we didn't even need to fight against the Syracusaans. So, about making Syracuse a client state. So perhaps we should make a tributary state here. Am I correct? And we should have roads ready there soon. And these replacement times are actually really long here. Okay. So, tributary state to allied state. And I think we have found some Germanians. Okay, so it seems there is a gang of diplomats that got blocked. And let's make those strategic fortifications there. Perhaps we could have gotten some money out of that. Rather small Swabit tribe there. So perhaps I should start planning the invasion of Carthage soon. So there are those two cities practically side by side. So taking them will require quite a lot of force. And I guess the civil unrest is increasing, and then there is devastation, and that rebel general decided to show up. Okay, so it will take only one turn to make, that's nice. It seems we do have quite a build-up operation of way stations and garrisons going on. So, allied democratic state or allied oligarchic state? Perhaps we will opt for democracy here. And these guys have quite a decent armor, so they are the bodyguards, I guess. Okay. So after we have the general, then next turn, I guess, we can proceed further. Okay, so the Carthaginians decided to besiege us. Oh, we have Julius Caesar here. Though he's Publius Julius Caesar, but... Okay, so basically we need to weather a siege there. So perhaps we should bring the reinforcing army back there. And perhaps we should hire the reinforcements for the army there. And let's save, just in case. Compared to the last episode or last stream, I think the AI has gotten quite a bit more aggressive in this stream. They are clearly ramping up their attacks against us. And let's hope the public order will remain in check. And the diplomat. We have found another faction. And are these guys actually planning on taking Syracuse? I guess they are. Okay. Is it actually that diplomat next to Mediolanum that's inciting unrest there? Perhaps we could get this guy to take the governorship of Messana. So 7 more turns. Okay, at least some more money. And there is a third Carthaginian army. Or actually fourth. So, let's see if we could break the siege with the help of our Greek allies. No. He spawned outside the city, because the city was full. So, we don't have any mercenaries available. Perhaps we could join forces with some of the troops there. And let's save first. And apparently no one can help us there. Well, he's quite old, but as the faction leader he is rather good governor. Hello JMC Jin, welcome to the stream. Perhaps we could bring these guys as reinforcements. Okay, so we need to face 3 enemy armies. Can we actually save here? Yes, we can. That's good. And let's hope our troops will hold. By the way, is it better in this mod to defend the walls or to defend the city center? As in both Rome Total War and in Medieval 2 Total War, it clearly is more beneficial to defend the city center, at least in most of the cases. I think I'm going to need all the luck I have in this battle. But it seems the enemies have the siege weapons only on this side. So some siege towers, some ladders, and a battering ram. Okay, thanks for the advice, Jacob. I will keep that in mind. So... I guess the spearmen will form up on the gates. Yeah, the moral advantage is exactly what I'm thinking there. Then again, the number of siege equipment is rather limited. So the question here is, can we stop the enemy at the gates, or can they push our troops back in here? Well, there are 2 different ladders. Well, let's try to defend the walls, and at least we will know next time if it doesn't work. But I don't actually have enough men for the walls, so that basically guides to the city defense, or rather to the city center, because I think the spearmen are not that good on the walls. So let's try to leave some troops, a small contingent of troops on the walls, so that the towers could get some shots off, and then the main defensive line will be in the city center. I think we should try to get a concave here on the city square. And I guess these guys can man the walls there. So I think this kind of formation should be rather nice. And we can try to flank with the cavalry. And let's have these troops that have missiles as support here. And the slingers, well, they can be there. And the skirmishers somewhere else, apparently. Yeah. I fully agree that swords would be the best on the walls. Unfortunately, our strength in numbers regarding swords is so small that I don't think we can hold the walls there. Well, this appears to be the trickiest part of the fight, to get these troops in position. So let's get the general here and the cavalry into some form of a flanking position. And how much the towers are actually shooting here? Do they work as in Medieval 2 or in the same way as in Rome 1? Well, I guess these towers haven't shot a single time. I guess it's time to get our Triarii back to the city square. Okay, at least one shot. Woohoo! And one casualty inflicted. Okay, so they are firing after all. I agree that hitting the enemy in the back with the missiles would be the best course of action, but I don't think we can get at least those missile infantry units to the backs of the enemy. So let's see if our cavalry could do some damage there. And we have a flood of Carthaginians coming in. And are they actually... No, we don't want you to be here. You should go to join the rest of the cavalry troops there. And if that went badly, we might have actually accidentally encouraged the enemy to flank us here. Then again, if the flankers are skirmishers, that shouldn't be too bad. So much for my beautiful concave there, as we are being flanked. Now the question is, could we actually have a pincer move against the enemy infantry here? Or perhaps enemy cavalry as well. Let's try to do that. Okay, good. First enemy unit driven off. And let's try to wipe it out. Or at least make sure it won't be coming back. And I think it's rather difficult to get to the back of that unit there. Okay, that cavalry is broken. And that is wavering. And it seems we are having... So, apparently we are the ones being surrounded here, despite all of the plans. And actually I don't think we want to have those guys to move to engage there. Let's see if the cavalry could do something against these guys here. And let's bring the skirmishers to the city center. I agree that guard mode would be wise, except that I don't think that we have a chance to chase down the enemies. Oh, except for accepting the general, and that unit wasn't in panic anymore. Yeah, I agree, not maneuvering too much, and at the same time, our problem is that we should get some quick victories against the smaller number of enemies until they all get to the city square or to us. That way we can break at least some of the enemies. And perhaps increase our chances of victory. However, this battle is not going at all how I planned. Some more cavalry incoming. So our cavalry is starting to break here. And the reason is there. And let's see if we could take down the enemy general there. That would be quite nice. I think it might even break the army attacking this direction. So only a couple of more bodyguards. And the losses could be worse. And now, of course, we need to make sure that our general doesn't get killed. Okay, I'm afraid he got away. But we do have this cavalry unit here. With some luck, we might actually take down the enemy general there. For the overall battle, I shouldn't focus on this here, but I think this front actually might be holding. So let's bring in some reinforcements here. Or perhaps there first. At least those skirmishers, and let's engage the enemy general there. And still he hasn't gone down. I think these guys should be able to take care of those. And we have taken down 2 enemy generals. And that should mean that the enemy armies should start to be in rather bad shape. Or they're not. Perhaps they do have big enough advantage in numbers so that it doesn't matter. Okay, so are these actually breaking? That's just some wonderful news. Any soldier we could bring to the city center would be helpful. And these guys are breaking. Those are spearmen, let's not engage them. And the panic is spreading. And let's hope it will spread even further. Well, the numbers clearly are against us. But even if we lose the battle, we sure put up a decent enough fight. Okay, so those guys are fleeing. Okay, so those are breaking. Okay, they are breaking, and let's gather our cavalry and see if we could do something with them. Oh, there is enemy general there, hopefully. Or they're not. Okay, those guys are fleeing. And we don't want to get to the thick of that spear battle. So, all enemy generals have fallen. And of course, there are 4 enemy armies. What? Okay. So the good thing is that our generals is still standing. And let's see if we could make that one flanking maneuver. Oh. And of course they are going that way. Okay, so those guys are rallying. So I'm afraid we cannot get to their backs this way. Okay, they are steady, wavering, broken. Okay, these guys are not broken as easily. Could we just bypass them? Okay. I guess this is it. Yeah, the timer is quite long. Okay, those broke. Perhaps I should have kept the general at the city center. Well, even if we lost the battle, it was really a nice battle against a rather overwhelming odds. And the enemy did suffer quite heavy casualties. Of course, taking the city back will be quite a headache. Yeah. Well, over 70% casualties to the enemy is still rather okay achievement. And of course, I think they lost quite a few family members there as well. Let's hope we can have our Greek allies to help recapturing the city. I think there might have been a small chance of us actually winning the battle, but I think the result is still rather satisfactory, even if we lost. I guess this image is from the HBO Rome TV series. Or I think there was at least something like it. So, can we actually get the troops across? We can. So, now we need to do like Pompey Magnus, stomp our feet so that new legions will just spring up. Can we actually have some mercenaries from this side sent to the... or sent to Sicily? It seems we can. And perhaps these cavalry units can join the forces there. While these three join that army there. About how we could have won that battle. Yeah, revenge is my plan. Okay, so both of those armies are commanded by captains. Could our Greek allies perform well enough so that that army could be taken down? For instance, I made a mistake by sending that cavalry to engage the enemy skirmishers in the hindsight. And I think that some micro could have been a bit better. That could have helped us as well. So basically those two aspects could have improved our result quite a bit. Or rather our performance. So, let's try to take this army out first. And let's hope our Greek friends will be very helpful here. And I think those small tactical mistakes or mistakes in micro eventually added up so much that it made the difference between victory and defeat. Of course, I'm not saying that it could have been easily won, but I think it could have been possible. But I'm not interested enough to prove my theory so that I would load that battle to try it again. So the Greeks are coming that way. I think we will pull back there. And I'm afraid that this Roman reinforcing army will go down rather quickly. Yeah, and I'm not fully convinced that we could actually have used the cavalry inside the city at all, now on the hindsight. Because the enemy took over the city much more completely than I thought was actually possible. So, yeah. So it seems those reinforcements have been broken. There might actually be some vulnerability on the enemy's right flank from our perspective. Yeah, agreed on that. So perhaps the cavalry waiting outside the city and coming in when the enemy was fully engaged would have perhaps been the best strategy in that battle. So the enemy army has been split in two. Let's try to roll that right flank. Another thing we could do is try to snipe the enemy general, and I think actually that's the better approach. So let's circle around with our cavalry and try to engage the enemy with our infantry. Is that cavalry? It is cavalry. Too bad. Is that all of these units are cavalry? Okay. Well, so much for us circling around them. Well, let's give it a try. Of course, that much cavalry can be also a weakness, since I don't think they can perform really well against our allies' infantry. Or let's see if we can disengage, so throwing those javelins first might be the best course of action. And it might actually be that we will lose the cavalry battle there. Let's see if that spear unit could engage that enemy cavalry there. Okay, that skirmisher cavalry is broken. Let's hope we can give them some additional speed away from the battle. Okay, so we might actually win the battle there, or rather skirmish. Okay, good. Enemy general is dead. And the panic is spreading. Nice. And I guess we are getting some balm to the wounds. Nice. One Carthaginian army less to worry about. I'm just wondering if we could retake Syracuse by assaulting the army next to it. I guess that's enough. So, if we take on the army next to Syracuse, the garrison will move out to help. Okay, so we got an error once again. I think this will be enough for today. So I think we need to take that first step to victory again next time. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's hope we get Discord running for the next stream as well. And special thanks to Necromancer for offering to set it up. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.